So, it's a little chilly outside.
What do you mean, so nice out?
Oh, and school was canceled for 2 days because of how awful it was, and it was so cold.
No, school was canceled for a totally different reason.
I beg to differ. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your host, Gabby Kramer.
You are not Gabby Kramer, but I'm Owen DeWeese, perfectly warm.
Okay, how?
Just look at me, I got the jumpsuit on and everything.
What does that even mean?
I'm sweating.
You're just gross, and you don't know how to do laundry, and we all know it.
First of all, I do know how to do my laundry. That was just a sick joke Kat was playing. Second of all, I'm just really warm. Hot, if you will.
Absolutely not.
Look, I'm sorry I'm the only one here that seems to not have an iron deficiency.
It's a real medical issue, Owen.
Okay, just take your iron supplements and stop complaining.
I'll take them during this next segment.
Recently, I finally watched the Fear Street trilogy of movies released on Netflix last July. The story centers on Dina, a teenager from the fictional town of Shadyside in the present day of 1994, after a series of brutal killings at the local mall. This is the most recent incident of the curse placed on the town by the witch Sarah Fear. Every few years, there is a string of grisly murders. While the setting and themes are based on the Fear Street book series by R.L. Stine of Goosebumps fame, the entirely new story was directed by Lee Janiak and stars Kiana Madeira, Olivia Scott Welch, Benjamin Flores Jr., Sadie Sink and Maya Hawke from Stranger Things, and Jillian Jacobs from Community. The first part, 1994, is an homage to 90s slashers like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Both inspirations shine through in terms of direction and tone. However, it tried very hard to be as quippy and tongue-in-cheek as Scream, which did not work for me at all. However, there is an extremely gruesome kill involving a bread slicer that redeemed the dialogue and muddled plot. Part 2, 1978, takes place at Camp Nightwing during the previous massacre. 1978 is another homage to past horror staples, this one being Friday the 13th. I thought this one was a little less hokey, and maybe this was just the setting, but I thought a lot scarier. I know summer camp horror movies have been done to death, but there's just something about being alone in the dark woods that really gets to me. But the best one by far was Part 3, 1666, which shows how the curse was placed upon the town. The cast from the previous two films come back to play entirely new characters. I enjoy anything about the Salem witch trials, so I was looking forward to watching this one from the very beginning. This was definitely the strongest of the trilogy and was a very satisfying conclusion to the story. The movies were filmed back to back to back and released weekly last July. I would put these somewhere between a franchise and a miniseries because each movie could potentially stand on its own, but are also part of a larger story. There are talks of a new set of movies under the Fear Street name, but no plans have been made. Regardless, I look forward to whatever Janiak has in store for the future. For horror fans everywhere, I'm Noah Bush.
So, Gabby, are you still cold?
I'm not cold, Owen. I have class. I'm chilly.
What's the difference between cold and chilly?
Well, cold is one syllable. It's what uncultured people experience, right? Chilly has two syllables. It's what more refined people experience.
But I experience cold.
Exactly.
You know, Gabby, the weather is not nice enough for you to be attacking this hard.
So you admit it. The weather is bad.
I did not say that.
You quite literally did.
Prove it.
Roll the footage.
You know, Gabby, the weather is not nice enough for you to be attacking this hard. That means nothing to me.
You were caught in 4K.
4K is a really big resolution goal for this budget. This is actually all filmed in 720. You really should do your research.
And what budget is that exactly?
About $3, and the producers all chipped in 50 cents.
Which will make this next segment even better.
E-waste is electronic devices that go to landfills instead of being recycled to create new devices. Phones, computers, and tablets are being constructed using precious metals and man-made materials that are harmful to the planet if released into the environment. Apple has been the most prominent tech company facing this global issue. Their policies include a trade-in program where you can give them your old device and even get credit towards your new device purchase if eligible. If your trade-in device is not eligible, Apple will still recycle it for free no matter the brand. Most tech trade-in programs work by signing up to receive a box in the mail for you to put the device you wish to recycle inside and send it back to the company's recycling partner. If you traded an iPhone, though, through Apple's website, it goes to Daisy, Apple's disassembly robot, designed to take apart an iPhone and recover its recyclable components. Another policy under Apple is to create a more sustainable business practice by reducing the carbon footprint of Apple itself and its shipping and supply chain partners. According to Apple's iPhone 13 Product Environmental Report in 2021, iPhone is made of 100% recycled rare earth materials and precious metals, which includes tungsten, aluminum, steel, gold, and more. Apple is also committed to transforming its entire product supply chain and all Apple stores to 100% renewable energy by 2030. It's very important for you to recycle your devices no matter the condition or how old they are. Devices containing lithium batteries and other harsh chemical components like arsenic in display glass and mercury that's very harmful to the environment if released. These chemicals and materials can be toxic to wildlife and the ecosystem that surrounds it. When you recycle a device, you help to create a more sustainable next generation device, and you help the planet. That's all from me. I'm Xander. Thank you.
Wait. So the producers can all afford to pitch in 50 cents each?
I mean, yeah, they're kind of loaded, honestly. Kat is dripped out every week, and the Drews, and me most of the time.
Dang. Do you think I could get Jamie to, be my sugar daddy?
I mean, we can ask her, but I'm sure she'd be flattered.
Hey, Jamie, can you and will you please be my sugar daddy? And you should answer in post.
Yeah.
Did you really just ask Jamie to be your Valentine sugar daddy? Valen daddy?
I did, in fact, ask Jamie to be my Valen daddy. It's the start of something real.
Yeah, I see the chemistry.
What should we do for our first date? Oh my gosh.
I think that you two should go to AMC. Jamie's there all the time, and you'll get a big fat discount.
A discount? Look at us go.
True power couple, if I do say so myself.
More of a power couple than Kat and Courtney?
Power couple this, power couple that. What about me? Don't I get a sugar daddy?
You literally have a girlfriend. You've been dating her for 4 years?
3.
You have a cat together?
Okay, don't bring the kids into this. And besides, Rachel won't even let me claim the cat. I'm just like her stepdad. I deserve a sugar daddy.
Okay, maybe the next segment will agree to be your sugar daddy.
Hello everyone, my name is Emily and I'm finally back with another news segment. Today I'm going to be talking about the 2022 Winter Olympics taking place in Beijing right now. First, snowboarder Lindsay Jacobellis has won the USA's first gold medal. She had a tough fall in 2006 at the Torino Winter Games, and she was able to make a comeback and win the USA's first gold medal at the 2022 Winter Olympics. On Monday, a U.S. skier known as Nina O'Brien crashed just before the finish line. Due to the crash, she injured her left leg and was unable to finish the race. She was alert and responsive after the crash. Lastly, the American men weren't able to medal in the snowboard slopestyle, as well as there were no one that placed top 10 in the U.S. men's skiing. That is all, and I hope you guys are staying up to date with the Olympics, and I'll see you next week.
Well, they did not want to be my sugar daddy. And also, I'd like to be very clear that I'm not comfortable with saying daddy this often in the future.
Well, there are other fish in the sea, like your girlfriend.
Okay. Kat is besties with my girlfriend, though. So, Kat is Rachel's sugar daddy? That means I can get one too, right?
Okay, well, then who do you want to be your sugar daddy?
Someone who wears super cool denim jackets all the time, and it has super cool, awesome hair, and a wonderful smile, and dreamy eyes, and goes to the movies, and, wears overalls sometimes, and...
So, me or the other Drew? Which Drew?
I mean, both?
Both?
Both is good. Gotta get paid.
Now you're just being selfish. I have a girlfriend, and that's a Purdue girlfriend, too.
Fine, I'll settle for Drew, too, then. He's secretly my favorite. Don't tell the other Drew. You put me in a short film.
I'm right here. So I'm just happy for the two of you, though. That's really great.
Yeah, see, it all works out as planned.
Before Owen falls even more in love with Drew 2, let's head into our final segment.
I'm Stephen J. Mason. The J stands for juvenile tax evasion. Today, I'm going to tell you about Oz, an HBO show that ran from 1997 to 2003 for 6 seasons. Oz chronicles the lives of the many inmates of the Oswald State Correctional Facility, or Oz, if you're feeling short on syllables, with a specific focus on the special unit known as Emerald City. M City is a forward-thinking attempt at prison reform to make the stone cage a little nicer, with clear, open rooms, considerate roommate arrangements, and a robust degree of freedom, though it all often leads to more murders and drug abuse that anyone can handle. Working in the fleshed-out setting of M City is Oz's greatest strength. Its wonderful, diverse cast of amazing characters. Indeed, Oz is unique in having no true main character. Sure, some are more prominent than others, but none can claim the true title of main character. This is because their stories, personalities, and interactions with one another hits every note you'd want an ensemble cast to hit. The compelling plot lines can range from prison grudges, the psychological strain of solitary confinement, or surrender to addiction. Everyone will have a favorite to root for, and even a favorite to root against. And it's not just the prisoners that get the focus. The warden, the priest, the head doctor, correctional officers, and more all get tons of individual time to shine. And the size of the cast doesn't diminish or detract from the memorability or luster of anyone for a second. Hill, Beecher, Schillinger, O'Reilly, Said, Rebadow, McManus, Glenn, Nathan, Mukada, Marie, all memorable, complex, fascinating characters. Even more is the small yet incredible touch of characters often being in the background of scenes they aren't even a part of, just going about their daily lives, always reminding us that these are people with their own lives, dreams, fears, hatreds, struggles, and wounds, even if they aren't being focused on at the moment. It all combines to make one of the darkest and tightly knit neighborhoods ever put to film. If there were 2 words to describe how it feels to watch Oz, I'd say intense and compelling. The series defies typical good guy, bad guy labeling. The kindest of the cast are capable of moments of intense hatred and rage, while seemingly soulless scum have extended plot lines where they exhibit more compassion for their fellow man than I've ever had the chance to even dream of. And it's never pretty, whatever way the coin falls. Oz challenges its viewers to decide for themselves who's evil, who's bad, who's good, who's great, and who defies that label at all. Oz is a violent show, well beyond Game of Thrones. It's rare an episode goes by without a death, assault, or at least a stabbing. Many characters die in all 6 seasons, including ones you thought were untouchable. This level of violence can begin to weigh heavily as the runtime of each episode tallies murder after murder. You may wonder what the point is. I say that's the whole point of the show, to feel exactly what the characters are feeling. The sorrow, hopelessness, sadistic burning hatred that permeates their every single day. No matter how bad the situation gets, it can always get worse, but it can also get better by the same token. Like Red said in The Shawshank Redemption, you better get busy living, or you better get busy dying. Unfortunately for the characters in Oz, this isn't Shawshank, and there's rarely ever any redemption to be found. In the larger scope of things, Oz was the first series produced by HBO, and it was a smash success right out of the gate. It opened the gates for everything after to include heavy, continuous storylines that built upon itself episode after episode after episode. Without Oz, we simply wouldn't have emotional, fearless stories that we take for granted as the standard for TV nowadays. There'd be no Sopranos, The Wire, Lost, or Breaking Bad, if not for Oz. It was the trailblazer we owe so much to. All the more reason to go back and see where it all started. You can watch Oz on HBO Max and Amazon Prime. Or, if you're in the mood to break the law, you can pirate the show. I won't tell the hacks. My final score for Oz is good out of very. Go watch it, go love it. And remember, it's all very simple. A man lives, and dies in prison. How he dies? That's easy. The who and the why? That's the complex part. The human part. The only part worth knowing. Peace.
Okay, so hear me out.
Go on.
What if we all go on dates with our own producers and see who has the best date?
And what would that prove?
That Drew is the best producer.
But, I mean, so is Jamie.
But whoever has the better date wins.
Fine. Bring it on. I know that I'll win.
But have you even seen Drew? I mean, like, I'm winning. No offense, Rachel. I didn't write this.
Of course I've seen Drew. He's literally right there. Jamie is also literally right there. We are getting blessed by their presence.
Next to the other producers. Hi, guys.
Okay, and on that note, it's time for final words.
Hey, folks. The 1980s were a magical time for American technology, movies, music, and other art. Arguably one of the best movies that came from this time was 1986's John Hughes classic, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't remember if I've talked about this before, but if I have, then it's going to happen again. Sorry. In this movie, high school senior Ferris Bueller, played by Matthew Broderick, wants a day off from school, and he's developed an incredibly sophisticated plan to pull it off. After faking a sickness, he gets his girlfriend Sloane, played by Mia Sara, out of school, and then he talks his best friend Cameron, played by Alan Ruck, into taking his father's prized Ferrari so that the three of them can go into Chicago and hang out for the day. So while they're enjoying fine dining, Cubs games, and festival parades, school principal Ed Rooney is convinced that Ferris is, for the 9th time, playing hooky for the day and is willing to jeopardize his career to catch him. Ferris anticipated that. He's not dumb, much to Rooney's dismay. He sets up some phony voicemail systems, deletes his other 8 absences from the school system, and wires a cassette to answer his doorbell. 80s. The movie's awesome, and with a budget of $5 million, they got $70 million at the box office, at the time making it the 10th highest grossing film of 1986. What a weird honor. Now on to the very limited trivia. There's a police station scene, and Ferris' sister Joan, I don't remember, meets a disheveled-looking Charlie Sheen. Turns out to prepare for his 5-minute-long drug addict role, he stayed up for 48 hours straight. That's pretty much all I can tell you guys, because like all the other stuff would require the context of the movie. So that gives you a good push to watch it. Maybe I'll talk about the rest of the trivia on the podcast someday if I ever get invited back. Anyway, that wraps up my segment for this week. So I would hand it off to Gabby, but she apparently is not here today. So as always, thank you for watching. If you want to see anything else from us here at The Real Deal, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and our website for all things entertainment. I'm Owen DeWeese.